Good morning. This is Angelina Kearney Dunlap, Clerk to the Board of Warren County Commissioners. Welcome to the 77th airing of the Warren County Report radio program. We're here to inform you, the Warren County citizen, of programs and opportunities in our community to benefit you. Today we have with us Mr. Lorenzo Wilkins. He is the President, Chairman, and Chief Executive Officer of Compass Youth Center, which is located at 108 South Bragg Street. Mr. Wilkins, who does not seem to have 17 years of experience, but he does. He's been with a Fortune 200 corporation. He is experienced in labor relations, HR, which is human resources, talent management, and recruiting. We're very impressed with your background, Mr. Wilkins, and thanks for being with us.
Well, some very kind words there, Angelina, and thank you very much for having me.
You're quite welcome. So tell us, what is Compass? What's your mission? What's your purpose?
Our mission at Compass Youth Center is to provide educational opportunities and services designed to empower and engage our youth. Our central focus, Angelina, focuses on hinging upon the creation and successful delivery of quality socioeconomic and community-based programs. Of course, the goal there is to assist our at-risk population, but also to aim and combat the school-to-prison pipeline. Ultimately, we want to make sure we offer to every person, every child, the chance to have personal and professional development.
Wonderful. That's a great mission. And so how did you come to Warren County? What drew you here to bring our young folk this great opportunity?
Well, simply put, Angelina, charity starts at home.
Okay.
I'm a proud 1991 graduate of Warren County High School, and I cannot begin to tell you on how some of our current education leaders actually had a hand in shaping and molding me to be a success. And I really wanted to come back and give that opportunity and spread my wealth of knowledge to the young people here.
That's good. We're glad you're back in the area. So what kind of resources as a 501c3 do you bring to Warren County?
Well, of course, as a 501c3, we're always in need of volunteers. We specifically want to make sure that we can get into the after-school environment where we know much of the improvement for students can occur. Also, resources when we look at having the ability to leverage relationships with the county manager, relationships with those who are in our central office and leaders in education, as well as the local government, to tap into their expertise, but also their resources that can help fund and finance some of our initiatives.
Okay, great. So you brought all these good things to Warren County. What exactly is your goal? What are the objectives for this year, 2016? Happy New Year, and the following years.
Thank you, and Happy New Year to you as well. Our objectives not only for 2016 and 2017 remain very simply to enhance and improve upon with student achievement.
Okay.
That is the mission right now that we believe for a young person. It has to come front and center for them getting prepared to enter the workforce and make a very good contribution to our community. So student achievement is our ultimate mission, ultimate goal.
Great. So how are you collaborating with programs that are already established in the community?
We've met both formally and informally with the North Carolina State Cooperative Extension. We've also had some discussions with the Youth Services Bureau, and what we want to do is to make sure that when we're offering services that we can also avoid duplication, and that we can also target where the actual assessments are needed to make sure we're getting the biggest bang for our buck.
Okay, that's so important that you're not duplicating services, but the monies are stretched so that all our youth can benefit from it. So talking about money, how are you funded?
Funding right now for us has basically been an in-kind donation. We have individuals who have been gracious enough to, submit their own time, submit not only, finances from their own pocket, but it's a labor of love, if you will. And, a person who does something for free, it says something that they actually have a passion for what they're doing. So, of course, because we are basically going from the startup and integration phase to that of execution, we do hope to really lean upon our work and to, of course, reel in some of those larger finances.
Okay. So you have a board of directors. You say you have an 8-member board. How is that made up, and how can we as locals get involved?
Absolutely, yes. We are comprised and governed by an 8-member board of directors, And the makeup of that team includes those who have backgrounds as an attorney.
Okay.
We have individuals who are veterans of the United States in the armed services.
Interesting.
Those who have participated in the education system as teachers.
Okay.
Financial advisors, those who have served in real estate and also as brokers in the community.
That's interesting. Great. So how are you creating these quality programs? Do you plan to bring new programs into the area, or are you just going to build on what's already here?
Typically, what we like to do is to work through the leadership and to understand, number one, the mission and the vision of the county.
Okay.
And with that, we like to make sure that we're having conversations with the leaders in education, those who are within our local government, and then also other parents and also other organizations to understand what the needs assessment is. For us, it's really all about empowering the people and ensuring that we make it a collaborative effort, and everyone who has a skill set and expertise can offer that as a solution to strengthening our overall community.
Great. So if someone's listening right now and they want to talk to you personally because they're getting excited about all these opportunities you're bringing, how would they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. We can be reached at area code 252-257-3544. You can also send us an email at cyc@compass, that's COMPASSINC.org.
Okay, great. So it's good to have a local presence, but you were sharing with me before we started talking that there's regional involvement in Compass. Tell us some more about Compass outside of Warren County.
Outside of Warren County, we have really been able to tap into the strength and the heightened awareness that we see around STEM education. So we all know that when it comes to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, that having solidified skills in that specific area is really what the workforce is demanding from our young people.
Okay.
And what we have been able to do in the Atlanta area is not only to host after-school tutorials to introduce STEM, but we've also been able to have a STEM symposium where we invite those from the community in and parents as well to understand really the dynamics of STEM and how it can actually help students to achieve more and prepare themselves for a successful career.
Now, what is STEM?
Science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is something that I believe every young person has to have an idea of what it really means.
Wonderful.
And when we think about the manufacturing sector, we know that we're moving as a country from manufacturing more to a service sector, which means our young people have to have the skill sets to compete globally, that we can keep our jobs here in the U.S. and also attract major businesses to our areas.
Okay, and the listener might be familiar with the NASA program that was at the high school for several years. Well, that program has ended, but the high school has continued that through local collaboration, which was a STEM program. So you're then supporting those activities at the high school level in the STEM program that's already established, or is this in addition to?
Absolutely. Well, in addition to, Angelina, and that's a great point you bring up, because recently Compass Youth Center has actually partnered with NASA and the SEMA director, Jerome Williams, and we're proud to announce that we're sponsoring our very first robotics team for high school students here in Warren County. In fact, we had our kickoff at Orange High School this past Saturday, where several hundred students had the chance to appear and learn of what this year's event will be composed of. During that kickoff, we also were able to get representation from each of our 3 area high schools.
Wonderful.
Warren County High, of course, Warren Early College, then also New Tech. And that experience really is going to be a great partnership because, as we know, NASA and SEMA and robotics and Compass, that's a winning combination.
It's a winning combination. We're excited. So once more, how can we get in touch with you, Mr. Wilkins? If we want to get involved in the Compass program for our youth, how do we call you? How do we visit you?
Well, of course, we're located at 108 South Bragg Street, and you can, of course, visit our website at www.compassinc.org. You can also like us on Facebook. Please feel free to also follow us on Twitter at Compass Youth CTR, and you can also follow us on LinkedIn.
Wow. So you have included all possible contacts. That's great. So, and how have you impacted the community? We know you've only been here since June, just getting your feet wet in the community. But what's the impact so far in the community?
Through a couple of pilot projects in the after-school environment to also include the robotics team, we've served roughly now over 65 students in this county. And that means for us that we've actually gotten into the position of announcing what our presence can be and what services we believe could be a benefit to the students, the faculty, and the parents as well.
Wonderful. We were impressed. So I went on your website, of course, and I see that your slogan is "Every child deserves a champion." What exactly does that mean?
Well, that's another great question, Angelina. And when we say every child deserves a champion, we really believe that every child has a chance to develop.
Okay.
And what we offer with respect to services includes development for some of the most basic needs in education, which could be anything from reading comprehension to homework completion. But it also may compose itself of a chance to really work with an advanced student who may want a introduction into STEM education and also leadership essentials. So we specifically and with intent, we design our services to make sure we can offer that development to all students throughout the K through 12 arena.
Wonderful, wonderful. So every child deserves a champion. That's great. What are your activities and how do your youth get involved in other ways?
Well, first of all, again, we want to go back to the robotics competition, which is an inaugural competition here that Warren County has an opportunity to participate in, the first of its kind. And working through the principals of each of the schools and also working with the school leaders is where students can actually become part of what we're doing. As we look to really broaden our stroke and really have an impact across multiple schools within the county, the kids can call us and email us. The kids can actually reach out to us via our website. And if they have a desire, along with parents or faith-based organizations, to request any services, we'd love to hear those and, of course, work through the proper channels to make that happen.
Great, great. So we're talking to a locally grown, successful individual, Mr. Lorenzo Wilkins, and we're going to ask you to just comment on your involvement in the community. When you were here as a student, what impressed you and what was that impetus that helped you to make it?
Yes, ma'am. Well, Angelina, as a 1991 graduate of Warren County High School, I considered myself a student athlete for many years. And, you know, being a student athlete means you have to devote time to, number one, your academics. But it also takes a lot of work to become a fine-tuned athlete. And putting those two together are some of the skills that I think have helped me today. Some of the skills such as the importance of teamwork, understanding how to utilize your resources, resource allocation, being able to effectively communicate, and then also having a background in knowing how to actually leverage the things that are in front of you. So with that, you know, I was able to achieve academic and athletic scholarship to North Carolina Central University, 1991 through 95. And again, that was a direct result of my teachers here. It was a direct result of the impact the principals had in my life as well as the superintendents. And again, for that reason, I feel it's just imperative that we come back and tell that story to some students so they see that success can be achieved.
It can be. And we thank you for being with us today. We look forward to some great things coming out of Compass Youth Program from Bragg Street, and just make ourselves available to be an asset in whatever way necessary.